Elon Musk just took a shot at the SpaceX competitors, and he's definitely right this time. Elon Musk and his company SpaceX remain on the top of the headlines as they never cease to make the most remarkable achievements in the space industry. Elon Musk never hides the fact that SpaceX is so much ahead of others. For example, SpaceX Falcon 9 Raptor engine passed its mechanical proof testing on the second attempt on the 1st of June. It went on to perform its first cryogenic proof test on the 2nd of June, a record-breaking move that blew away tech enthusiasts all over the world. But why is no one able to do what SpaceX is doing, even when NASA is funding their space programs? Musk took to Twitter to celebrate this outstanding achievement with a reply to SpaceX's tweet. Falcon 9's first stage has successfully landed on landing zone 4, Musk replied, stating, "Feels like deja vu all over again, haha. The only thing keeping the orbital rocket program alive is government protection, or they will be deader than a doornail, and everyone knows it. But oh well, comme ci, comme ça." The landing of SpaceX's Falcon 9 on the drone ship, dubbed Perfect Touchdown, has turned out to be one of the most popular videos on the internet. The video was released only one day after reports broke out that SpaceX had fired several workers for criticizing Elon Musk. According to the reports, at least 5 workers had been sacked after sharing an open letter criticizing the company's founder. In the clip, meanwhile, the rocket is seen approaching the sea and landing on its legs in the ship's center. As expected, the place was jammed with press members and multiple cameras filmed the landing, one of which showed a stunning drop through heavy clouds. The footage of the Falcon 9 first stage landing was tweeted by its official account shortly after landing. The first phase of the Falcon 9 has landed on a shortfall of gravity's drone ship, making SpaceX's 13th launch of a first-stage booster and 100th successful mission with a flight-proven orbital-class rocket, stated the tweet. In addition, SpaceX announced that it was the finest landing video ever. Elon Musk then applauded Starlink for a job well done in his brief message. "Thanks to Starlink, we have our finest landing footage yet," he tweeted. The corporation confirmed the deployment of the 53 Starlink satellites hours after the launch. At 9:39 p.m., the 2-stage rocket lifted from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, United States. Starlink, just to remind you, is Musk's internet provider company, which is run by SpaceX and has launched over 2,300 satellites. Falcon 9 is a reusable 2-stage rocket designed by SpaceX to take passengers and cargo into Earth orbit and beyond. It is the first orbital-class reusable rocket in the world. The reusability of the Falcon 9 enables SpaceX to refly the costliest sections of it, lowering the cost of space access. The business was cautious about its odds of landing successfully this time, stating that retrieving the rocket booster would be difficult. This is because when SpaceX undertakes these high-orbit flights, the rocket travels at a considerably faster speed and requires far more fuel than trips to low Earth orbit. As a result, the Falcon 9 rocket has less fuel to direct it to the drone ship and must descend at a more incredible speed. That's why past efforts to land Falcon 9 first stages in the water during GTO flights failed. The first sea landing in April occurred during a trip to low Earth orbit, but it seems to have been a watershed moment. SpaceX successfully landed another rocket on their subsequent attempt in early May, a mission to GTO. Landing the rocket boosters successfully is clearly a crucial first step that SpaceX has already accomplished 4 times. However, for SpaceX to genuinely realize its aim of reusability, the company will have to begin reflying the rockets it has landed. Musk said in April that he intended to launch the first rocket that landed at sea by May or June. But this seems to have been altered. The business is planning to relaunch the rocket that landed at the beginning of May, but no date has been set as of today. Meanwhile, SpaceX is running out of room at the Kennedy Space Center to store its rockets. The company's hangar can accommodate up to 5 rocket boosters, and this newly landed one will make it 4. Musk has said that SpaceX may ship some rockets to the company's McGregor, Texas test site. And at some point soon, SpaceX says it hopes to exhibit the first rocket it landed in December at its HQ in Hawthorne, California. Since 2002, Musk has been examining NASA's intentions to place humans on Mars and was astounded to find out that there was no established schedule. NASA has proposed 2030 as a target date. That's when Musk said he envisioned a Mars expedition to galvanize national will. Meanwhile, Musk focused on building prestige and securing contracts to launch satellites, humans, and International Space Station supplies closer to home. It took years to prove that SpaceX's dependability could compete with that of large companies like Arianespace and United Launch Alliance. But Musk's capacity to spend a lot of money testing reusable rocket technology did aid in that endeavor. Recently, Musk and SpaceX have been spending most of the energy building Starship, massive rocket-spaceship combos meant to transport humans to Mars and beyond. Several Starship prototypes exploded during high-altitude test flights, but one ultimately landed in May 2021. NASA chose Starship as the first crewed lander for its Artemis lunar exploration program, which intends to return to the moon by the middle of this decade. Musk also aims for SpaceX to have a second Starship stack ready to launch in August and then 1 month afterward. That is an unprecedented rate of acceleration in rocket construction and launch flow. So far, SpaceX's accomplishments include the first privately funded liquid propellant rocket to reach orbit around Earth, the first private company to successfully orbit, launch, and recover a spacecraft, the first private enterprise to launch a spacecraft to the International Space Station, the first vertical takeoff and vertical propulsive landing for an orbital rocket, the first reuse of an orbital rocket, and the first private company to send astronauts to the International Space Station and orbit. Now that's quite a portfolio. It does lead us to the question, can other space companies such as Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin and Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic catch up with SpaceX? Let's check out what they have accomplished since they joined the space race compared to those achievements of SpaceX. Bezos created Blue Origin in 2000 with an aim similar to Musk's, to make space exploration more affordable by using rockets that can be recycled for future launches. Until roughly 2003, the Kent, Washington-based corporation functioned in complete secrecy, and Bezos remained tight-lipped about its objectives for more than a decade after that. The corporation has been testing the New Shepard suborbital rockets for years, which will someday transport paying visitors to the edge of space in a pressurized capsule. In addition, the corporation is working on a giant rocket dubbed New Glenn for carrying payloads to low orbit and a future project named New Armstrong. Bezos disclosed plans for lunar lander Blue Moon in 2019, saying it would be ready in 2024 and ultimately help build a sustainable human presence on the moon. Blue Origin was outbid by SpaceX for the contract to land NASA people on the moon, but the firm is appealing the decision. Unlike its competitors, Virgin Galactic does not shoot rockets straight up from the ground. Instead, its spacecraft are carried to 50,000 feet by White Knight 2, a vast, dual-fuselage plane. The spaceship then detaches and hovers for a few seconds before powering up its rocket engine and descending almost vertically to roughly 300,000 feet. Although the company has not yet flown any visitors, it has sold 600 tickets for $200,000 to $250,000 each. Virgin Galactic had intended to begin accepting passengers in 2021, but that date has been moved back to next year. Customers will be allowed to get out of their seats once the spaceship reaches its ultimate height and spend several minutes floating about the opulent cabin, looking down at Earth or out into space. Virgin intends to provide flights for research reasons as well. After returning to Earth's atmosphere, the spaceship will be guided back to Virgin's New Mexico facility for a runway landing. Virgin Galactic's spacecraft is also totally reusable. The company aims to make launching items and people into space more cost-effective and eco-friendly. In March, Virgin Galactic debuted the VSS Imagine, the first of its next-generation Spaceship 3 spacecraft. It has previously developed and flown 2 Spaceship 2 spacecraft, including the VSS Enterprise, which was destroyed in a catastrophic accident in 2014. From our analysis, Elon Musk was right about the other rocket orbital programs being sustained by government. SpaceX is undoubtedly on the top of the game in this space race. Thanks for watching and see you in the next videos.